Now,
All right, next one.
Number 4.
Number 4 on this countdown. It's just the second one we're talking about.
Yeah, we're going 5 to 1.
Fight.
Investing in assets that create cash flow. So now, if you spent the time to not make these mistakes, you should have some money in your savings to spend. However, when you spend money, it has to make sense. Is it worth the investment? Is there ROI involved with this? Is it going to give me a benefit? Most of you spend money for how you feel, for joy, for example, just to have fun, which I understand, but that should not be all of your spending in this case. So what should you invest in to make cash flow? We cover on the show all the time. Number 1, I'm going to say is real estate.
Yeah.
Guys, when I first came to America, I said it before, I met a guy in a Lamborghini. He pulled up with this chick, blonde chick, I'll never forget. I think it was a Huracan actually. And I was like, damn, I never saw a Lamborghini in my life before, but this is dope. Who is this guy? And then I speak to him, obviously this is in person. I say, hey, bro, what do you do for a living? He says, I do real estate. I invest in real estate. I take my money from my job, put it into that real estate, and I get cash flow. I'm like, cash flow? So I went online on YouTube, looked it up. I saw a bunch of videos, Grim Stefan, Bigger Pockets, and I saw, okay, this is an avenue for me to make money on the go while I'm working my job, right? So real estate is number 1. And I would just say this off rip, but guys, I saved up for 1.5 years to buy my first property, and I worked overtime like a maniac. 7 days a week, I worked overtime. Actually, no, sorry, 6 days a week, because you can't work 7 days in a row. That's against the law. 6 days a week, I worked, had my job, overtime every single day. I wake up at 6 a.m., leave work at like 12 midnight. Did that for a year, saved the money, bought my first property. Now, with that money, I'm getting the property. I was living for free in a multifamily. I was cash flowing a little bit of money and paying a mortgage. So ultimately, that one investment I made for the property, helped me make money at the same time.
Can you explain to them what cash flow is real quick?
Yeah. So cash flow is basically a term, for example, making money, right, continually from an asset, which means you put money into this asset and it's going to pay you continually for a period of time or forever from that one asset.
It's the money left over after you pay all your bills.
Yeah.
Like, so basically, let's say his mortgage was $1,000, right? All expenses, taxes, insurance, all that crap, it was $1,000, but he was making $1,200. So he pays everything off and he has $200 left over. That $200 is the cash flow that he gets from that property because all the bills are paid and then he's able to net profit some of it. That's the cash flow, guys. It's whatever's left over after all bills are handled.
So before I bought anything crazy, I bought the property first. Now, I made a mistake I'm going to cover later on in this these points here, but the main point is I got real estate down packed. Number 2 is going to be either stocks, dividends, or, for example, any type of online investing. So I don't know if you want to use Webull or use Robinhood, whatever it may be. Find one you can use that's a good interface that you're cool with and learn how to use it correctly. And obviously speaking, find a mentor in that space that knows what to invest in or not to invest in, because the biggest thing I see guys do is they'll say, you know what? I want to invest $1,000, $5,000. Okay, cool. Where do I go? I saw this tip online. I'll just do that. I'll leave it there. But you need to do research because, once again, there's so many things online you can invest in. You need to know what you're getting invested in all the way, because if you don't know what you're investing into long-term or short-term, you can lose money instantly or in the long run. So my thing is like, find a mentor in that space that knows what he's doing, learn from him, and then make a conscious choice to do it for yourself when you're ready. And then number 3, I would say for investing is invest in yourself, man. I feel like most people, they worry about investing in other assets before they invest in themselves. And I think, personally speaking,
we'll talk about that in more detail.
I know, I'm just giving a small synopsis here. Focus on yourself at the very beginning, guys, because your skills you learn yourself, for example, if you're good at e-commerce, you're good at marketing, you're good at sales, is going to help you make massive amounts of money. But that money you can invest into assets, like I said earlier. So that's my points there for number 4.
Okay, yeah. So number 4, guys, like I said before, we're talking about invest in assets that create cash flow. When it comes to creating cash flow, guys, the number 1 asset class here is real estate. It doesn't even come close. Every other asset class is far back. The guy that's in second place is way behind real estate. And there's 4 main reasons why real estate is the king when it comes to asset classes and investing, especially when it comes to creating cash flow. Again, what is cash flow? Cash flow is the money left over after you pay all the bills. Okay, so if you have a home, right, and it makes you, let's say let's say the bills are $1,200, right, and you make $100 left over after the fact, that's $100 cash flow. Or let's say it doesn't make any money and you break even, cool, you don't get any cash flow, but you live for free. Or in another case, which is a bad real estate deal, it's negative cash flow, where you're paying $100 to manage it, which in some cases it could work out depending on the situation. But the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is when it comes to creating cash flow, etc., real estate is the best asset class. And there's 4 main reasons why it's the best asset class. Number 1, you get you can use debt to acquire it. Okay, what do I mean by using debt to acquire it? Well, you can go ahead and buy a home while only putting down a fraction of the home's cost. What do I mean by this? If I want to buy a home, right, and I want to live in it for a year, I could put up to 3.5% to 5% down of my own money to purchase the home. So in other words, let's say the house is $100,000, easy math here, right? All the homes are way more expensive than that. But for easy math, you're putting down $3.5 to $5,000 plus closing costs. So all in, guys, you're paying less than $10,000 to acquire an asset that's worth $100,000. Why is this important? Well, the reason why it's important, guys, is because you put a small fraction down, and then the bank gives you the rest of the money to purchase the home. Let me tell you how important this is, okay? You can go to Bank of America and tell them, hey, Bank of America, I want $100,000 to invest in your stock. You know what Bank of America is going to tell you?
Nope.
They won't even give you a loan to buy stock in their own bank. However, if you go there and say, hey, Bank of America, I want to buy a real estate property. I'm coming up with 5%. Can you guys give me the other 95%? They're going to say, sure. If that doesn't show you guys the power of real estate, then I don't know what is. Banks won't even give you money to buy stock in their own goddamn bank, but they will give you money to buy real estate. That is the biggest telltale sign that real estate is the king of asset classes, because banks will lend you money on it. And let me tell you something about banks. They don't lose. We know who owns the banks, okay? They don't lose, all right? They know who they're lending money to. They know how money really works, and they understand that real estate is the best asset class. It's always going to hold its value. It's going to make value, and you can always hold on to it, sell it, whatever it may be. If push comes to shove, you don't pay your bills, they can kick you the fuck out of there, foreclose in a house, sell that thing on the market, and make a profit. That's why they will lend you money on real estate, okay? So that's number one. You're able to use debt, aka other people's money, right, OPM, to purchase that asset, and now you control the asset. The goal is to control the asset, put as little money down, now you own it. Now that you own the property, two magical things happen, guys. Number one, appreciation. What is appreciation? Appreciation is the house going up in value over time. If you guys have been living under a rock the past, 2 to 3 years, we went through a pandemic. What happened during the pandemic? House prices skyrocketed, interest rates were down, and everyone was able to go ahead, if they were smart, and purchase a home. If you bought a house in 2020, I guarantee you, especially if you're in a market like Florida or even New York or any of these expensive places, Texas, especially Austin, Texas, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, etc., you'll probably experience a significant increase in appreciation where your house went up somewhere between $20,000 to $100,000. I'll give you guys a little dirty secret now. All the homes, remember, as you guys know, in 2021, I bought 7 homes. All the houses that I bought in Florida, guys, back in 2021 are up now over $100,000 fucking dollars. Okay, so what that means is I purchased it for a certain price, and now the house is worth over $100,000 more. So I have a good amount of what? Equity. What is equity? Equity is your buy into the home. Okay, the money I put down versus how much it appreciated is my equity. All right. So you experience equity, or excuse me, you experience appreciation. So we talked about you're able to use debt to acquire the asset. Then once you have the asset in your control, it appreciates over time. Now, what else is special about this? You make money. Fresh was talking about cash flow significantly. So if you live in the home or if you put tenants in it, the house should make you some kind of cash flow, okay? You should, and that means after all bills are paid, you're making money after the fact. Very important, guys. And then the last thing here is tax benefits, which no one talks about, okay, guys? The tax benefits are enormous, and there's 2 main tax benefits from real estate. There's one called depreciation, which you're able to depreciate the house over a 27.5-year period, and you're able to, and then cost segregation. We talk about this in more detail on other episodes of real estate, but I got a secret for y'all. Steve is going to come in on next Monday, and we're going to talk about taxes, saving money, and we're going to talk about this in way more detail for you guys and give y'all a refresher on S-Corps, LLCs, etc. next Monday. So I'll wait until then to give you guys the details, but the point I'm trying to make here is you get enormous tax benefits with real estate, okay? So the 4 main things about real estate, why it's the best asset class. Number one, you're able to use debt to acquire it. Once you use that debt to acquire it, you're able to enjoy appreciation of that property going up. Real estate, guys, almost always goes up in value over time, okay? 5 to 10 years, it's going to go up regardless of what happens. Even if the market crashes, it's going to correct and it's going to come back up. Next, it makes you money while you hold on to it, okay? If you're not an idiot, you did your numbers correctly and use cash on cash returns, like I tell you guys all the time, the house is going to make you money. Then, lastly, you're going to get tax benefits in the form of 2 things, either A, depreciation, or B, cost segregation. To show you guys how powerful real estate is. I use this example all the time. I'll tell you guys one more time for you guys that are new here. When I was an agent in the government making about $120,000 per year, I paid about $40K in taxes. Okay, guys? They took almost what? 1/3, 1/4 of my goddamn money, right? Because I was single, didn't have any kids, didn't have any assets. So they're going to kill me. I am the prime target, right, for taxes for Uncle Sam whenever you make a certain amount of money and you don't have assets to your name, you don't have children, right? Now that I'm making like 10x that, right, doing this, entrepreneur, and also being a real estate investor, especially the real estate investor, I paid about 36K in taxes last year for 2022, guys. So I paid less taxes as a multimillionaire than I did as a working class citizen making 100K per year. That's fucking crazy. And how was I able to do that? I was able to do that through the power of real estate. And to tell you the truth, if I wanted to, I could have paid even less taxes, but I didn't use all the deductions that were available to me because you obviously want to be in a nice little sweet spot where you're able to show income so you're going to get approved for loans, which is a little bit more advanced. But you guys get the idea. The point I'm trying to make here is I made a bunch of money, yet I paid less taxes. Why? Because I own real estate. Why does Trump not show us tax returns? Because he has real estate. Why does Robert Kiyosaki not pay taxes? Why do guys that are real estate moguls not pay taxes? Chris Crone, all these guys, because they have real estate, guys. It makes you money, it appreciates over time, and it cuts down your tax liability, which when you put that all together are enormous returns. And no single asset class comes even fucking close to this, man. That's why I scream at y'all all the time. If you're going to invest in one asset class, please get into real estate. You will thank yourself every single time. Fresh bought a house that he could barely afford back in 2019, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That house has went up, what, 200-300K?
Yeah, it's funny. I was only making $15 an hour back then. So $15 an hour back then.
Now, he went house poor buying it, etc. But do you regret buying that house?
Definitely not.
It's went up significantly, and it's making him money. And
I will say as well, just to answer your point. So when you buy a house, guys, if you're smart about it, and I wasn't smart at the very beginning, I just wanted to get a house, you're going to have some money in reserves because things are going to go wrong with the property. It's a house, guys. Either roof repair, maybe something, the bath or, the tiling, whatever it may be.
Painting.
Things will go wrong with the property.
Shit up.
So to kind of, combat that, you want to have money in reserve so if things go wrong, you can fix it. My dumbass didn't think about it because I wanted to have the property, but I didn't think about reserves because obviously things go wrong. So I'm telling you guys, you can make that, correction. Obviously have money for the down payment, for the closing, for the property, but have money for reserves just in case things go wrong.
Yeah. So, and I didn't mean to go on a rant there about real estate, guys, but that's the number one way to create wealth.
He's passionate about it, man.
95% plus of millionaires make their money off real estate, right? Yeah. Then, remember how I said real estate's number one, and then, we kill all the other streams. Come on,
guys.
YouTube, guys.
YouTube tonight,
come
guys.
over to YouTube. and also Rumble. We got about 5,000 plus y'all over there on Rumble, and we got over 5,000 y'all over here on YouTube. So I talked about real estate being number one. The next asset classes, guys, that you can invest in as well that I think that you should be invested in are obviously the stock market. Whether it's individual stocks, the whole of the game. I'm talking more along like index funds. Okay, cryptocurrency, precious metals, and then if you want. A high interest savings account, which, as you guys know, I talked to y'all about my Merrill Lynch stuff that I got going on with a preferred deposit. You obviously need it's a threshold, you need 100K or whatever to invest. But you're getting a 4.76% interest rate right now, and the Fed is going to continue to raise interest rates. So I want y'all to be guys in a position where no matter what happens with the market, you're able to profit. For example, as y'all know, the interest rates are going up right now. So finding deals in the real estate market are a little bit higher because a 30-year fixed interest rate right now as an investor is somewhere between 7 and 8%. It's hard to get cash flow with interest rates that high. However, since I know the interest rates are going up, on this side of the coin, I'm investing and putting my money into a high interest savings account that's going to benefit from the Fed increasing rates. So I don't want y'all to ever be a victim of the market. I want you guys to monopolize the market. So no matter what happens, you have what I call a diversified portfolio where nothing can fuck you up. If they raise interest rates, cool. I have to slow down on the real estate investing. However, I'm making money over here with my high interest savings account. Or if crypto starts bumping up, bam, I got cryptocurrency over here. But if cryptocurrency goes down, it's okay. I got precious metals and I got real estate. I want you guys to have every single asset class in your repertoire. So no matter what happens in the market, you're going to be safe. Don't be like these guys that have 50% of your goddamn wealth in cryptocurrency. And next thing you know, Ethereum is down to $1,000 and you're thinking about jumping off a fucking balcony like people have done here in Miami. Don't do that shit. Be in all different asset classes. Own a home here, own some cryptocurrency here, have some Ethereum, have some Bitcoin, have some precious metals, have some of your money put into a high interest savings account. They'll make money for you. So if the Fed increases the rates, you'll be fine. I want you guys to be diversified so that no matter what happens, you're okay. And then on top of that, make sure you have 6 months to a year of cash